Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone doing today? Welcome to Passion, Purpose, and Possibilities. Hope your day is going well. I don't know about for you, but today it's thinking about being spring. So I know like 2 days ago we had a spring, and then yesterday we had a winter spring, and so we'll see what the rest of the day looks like. But either way, it's going to be a great day. So thank you for tuning in. Hope all is doing well. Excuse me. A lot of great things going on. IngersollEnterprises.com/events. A lot of great things coming up. We've had some summits come up. We have some marketplaces coming up. We have some hybrid in-person live summit coming up in July. More details to come on that. IngersollEnterprises.com. Excuse me. So, how's everyone's April doing? We're roughly halfway through the month. How is everyone's April doing? How are you doing in April? How are your resolutions coming? Your New Year's resolutions? How are your monthly resolutions coming? With April being Financial Literacy Month, and as you know, I am a business owner in the financial services, and I am a money mindset coach. So I love talking about money and money mindset and helping others understand their money mindset and get their finances in order up here on paper and in their bank account. So, and with that, we have 4 free financial literacy classes that we are hosting this month. So if you are interested in those, let me know. Give me 1 second and I can get some details on that. Let me find that here. So the first class is increased cash flow and debt management. The second class is building a strong financial foundation and proper protection. Class number 3 is build wealth and asset accumulation. And class 4 is retirement and wealth preservation. So making sure you're on track to retire and your retirement is on track to stay retired. So again, all that information can be found at IngersollEnterprises.com/events, or you could just message me directly. You can get there on Ingersoll Enterprises. You can connect with me there. So if you're interested in any of that, let me know, and we will get those links over to you and get you on track financially. So, and without further ado, let me pull this up over here. That ties in with our speaker. Our topics often mesh, and I love it. She is a venture builder, serial entrepreneur, speaker, and business leader, founder of Epic 47 and Epic Mamas. Her dream is to help 47 people grow their businesses and realize their ultimate potential. And I'm going to talk about that because often we hold ourselves back on potential and we doubt our potential, or we don't believe in our own potential. So I love that. Her life purpose, again, passion, purpose, right there, and possibilities, is to help others find their why, deep, and understand what we can do. Understand that we can be more than just a product of our environment. And that is so true. That is one of the key things that I love helping people with, and I love talking about and getting help with myself and stuff, because we often, I want to say, succumb to our environment and just be reactive and instead of responsive to our environment. So I love that. So without further ado, Jen Potter.
Yay! How are you?
I am doing fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, thank you.
Awesome. So I love your intro, epic. That word right there. How did that come about?
Epic. So
Epic 47 and Epic Mamas. Epic.
everything has to be big, right? So for me, the word epic is this. It's a word that's kind of always like been around me for years. And when I lived out in Hawaii, everything was about that epic wave, is this epic weather, and it was just this positive word to me that like I always kind of hung on to. And as I started businesses, I didn't want to just be a small business. I didn't want to make a small change. I wanted to make a big change, like a big wave. And everything that I do, I want it to take over. And not in the sense of I want, to, take over the world, but I want to make a big change. And so for me, in order to kind of, demonstrate that, I think the word epic comes more from a place of being this bigger than yourself type of thing, and creating a life that you want to live. And so the word epic is just, I don't know, it just has this feeling about it to me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Epic. It's being who you are and knowing what you want. And then where did 47 come from?
So it's funny because I love telling the story, because when I initially came up with Epic 47, I started, with an acronym, and empowering people, and I kept changing everything around but it was always about like empowerment. And when I came up with 47, I was like, I want to affect numerous people. So I came up with Epic 47 because I felt like a number had to be a part of it. And at first it was because the number 47 has always been a number to me. I was an athlete. 47 was my number when I was in high school. And so for me, I was like, oh, it symbolizes my birthday's in April, my favorite number seven. If Epic 47 just seemed to make sense, right? And then I was talking to a few of my business coaches, and they were like, that sounds terrible. Like, that's a terrible story. Like, I know you're passionate about it, but you need to like have like a meaning behind this, because other than this, I'd say sentimental reason, it didn't really have a meaning. And so like I had to search long and deep. It didn't happen overnight. It took months. And I always knew that I wanted to make a change in lots of people's lives. And I was going for a walk with the family and the dog, and I'm walking past a friend's house, and it was like this aha moment. I'm like, 47. I want to help 47 humans with their businesses in by 2047, because realistically speaking, I know I can do that sooner. I own four, almost five businesses. I do own the fifth business, but it hasn't launched yet. And I know that I can start numerous businesses, and I know that I can do it before 2047. But the actual meaning behind it is I want to help 47 people create successful businesses. Anybody can start a business, but anybody can fail in business. I want to help 47 people create a life that they truly want to live and be successful in doing it for the long term. So by 2047, I want to have established other people's lives. And I don't initially, I thought, I was like, maybe I want to own all these businesses myself. While I am very good at time management and scheduling, I don't want to do them all by myself. I want to create business partnerships. It's why I became a venture builder. So it allows me to help start other people's business and be a part of it for a certain chunk of their journey.
That's awesome. And excuse me. Before I move on to what I was originally going to ask, and now I just forgot what I was going to ask.
Sorry.
but that's okay, because that happens. It'll come back to me. But what is your? Oh yes, I remember what it was. How do you define success? When you
Ooh,
said everybody has start a successful business, how do you define successful business?
that's a great question, because success is determined by the person who's creating it. So it's not success deemed on my terms. So success to me is living my epic life. It is living the life that I want to live. It's living in this place of financial freedom. It's living in this place where everything that I'm doing and I'm creating is because it's making a change and a difference to my life and others. But, some people may define success as making a lot of money. Some people may define success as, owning several businesses. Success is determined by the person who is creating it, and I'm here to support it.
I love that you're here to support it. And I think it's it's important because oftentimes we take that definition and try to impose it on others. You know,
Hmm.
most of the time unknowingly or unconsciously doing that. Sorry, I got to try not to sneeze for a second.
No worries.
but but I love that you're able to recognize that, okay, this business is successful under their terms. You know,
Absolutely.
okay, this business is successful under their terms, and they can look totally different, and you know how to let it be.
Hmm.
Because so often, you know, we try to follow the same recipe. We try to make cookies the same way. No, they're supposed to turn out like this. No, it's
Right.
supposed to. You're not doing it right, kind of thing. But when the true definition of success, it doesn't. It isn't cookie cutter, and I love that. And I love that you're able to also help people understand that they don't have to fit into the same mold as this person over here.
Absolutely.
So then my next question is, what is your why? How did you find your why? Why do you want to help others? Why do you want to be a venture builder? You kind of talked about it a little bit, but why?
So my why, and that's a great question. For a long time, I was stuck in this place of not knowing what my why truly was. I wasn't sure, what my purpose was other than I knew that when I spoke, people listened. I knew that, things have happened to me in my life that were beyond my control, but when they did happen, my positive attitude changed the lives of other people. And so I learned, over time what my why truly was. And it was listening to the universe as to what that why was. So for me personally, I have a heart condition, which I think you may or may not know, but I have a heart condition, and I've had like a really crazy journey along the past 11 years, and throughout all of it, I've never let it affect me. I've never let it change me. I've also come from a really like crappy background, and and I think I might have even put this into the show notes, but like I I I always thought that my circumstance and my environment was going to define who I was when I was younger. And but at the same time, I didn't want it to define me. I wanted to change my life. I wanted to be something that I felt was real. I felt it was me. And, it took me a long time to stop worrying about what other people thought and started creating a life that I truly wanted to live. And as I started to do that, I realized other people started to listen more. Other people started to follow along. Other people started to follow me on my journey, support me, lift me up. I would say I'm starting another business, and there wasn't this negative energy. It was like, wow, this is so great. Like, how can we support you? And so my why took a long time for me to actually truly figure out, but I know that my why is helping change and impact other people's lives, creating this opportunity for business. I'm not a venture capitalist yet, and I know that I'm still able to change people's lives. I became a venture builder to get to the point of that I can be a venture capitalist, so I can turn around and I can impact other people's lives and change their lives for the better. So I know my why is to positively impact other people, and continue to do it, and I love it.
That's awesome. And I'll get back to that, but I love how you said stop caring about what others think. And if you're okay with that, I want to share your Facebook profile picture.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's an awesome example of being
That's
being
me.
who you are, and not caring what other people think. This is me.
I
This
love
is
that.
this is who I
Thank
am.
you.
And so what if you don't like me being my goofy self, kind of thing. I love how you pointed that out, and I
I love
love
that.
that picture. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, right? And it's funny because some people are like, "You're gonna send that as your headshot?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why not? It's me." And and it's funny because there are some people that are like, "Well, what if people just think that you're super silly and you're not gonna be taken serious?" And I'm like, "Well, I am super silly, but I can be taken very seriously, but it's to be silly in certain moments. It's to really embrace the things that are around us. We don't want to be serious all the time. Like we want to be silly. Like I want to interact with someone because I want to know that they're a real person, not because they're just this stiff person who wants to work with me in business. We're real. We're making connections. I think that that's really important. So thank you for sharing that. I took a snapshot so I can post this later.
There you go. Awesome. I love that. So I love those. Um, I won't. I don't know if this is the right term, but I want to call them like inception moments, whatever. Picture, or like the two mirrors in front and behind you. Where I think that's awesome. And that goes to talk about being your authentic self, and that's like you said, not just your business self, or you have to put on this business face. There's certainly a time and a place for that, but you know, getting everybody, the whole you kind of thing. Um, and just being your authentic self. If you dig in my Facebook, you'll find me doing the Gangnam Style dance in my PJs.
Right, right.
So and guess what? That's me. So I
And
love
the
it.
best part, right, and the best part about that, right, like, because I'm able to see, yourself outside of this as well. And I think it's great to show other people that you have this side, that this is who you are. You're not putting on this facade. This is truly who you are as a person. What you see here and what my kids see and what people see in business, they're all the same thing. I'll go to a business meeting and will come out of it, and then they'll just be like, oh, I thought this was just going to be some uppity meeting, but it felt like I was having drinks with a friend. I'm like, well, what you see is what you get. I said that, a few minutes ago. Creating relationships and connections are truly how you maintain business. I am able to be the successful that I define in my life because I create those connections and collaborations with people, and I'm showing them that what you see here is what you're going to see on the flip side. I'm very transparent.
I love that.
Sometimes too transparent.
And again, that's by someone else's definition.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, when like you mentioned your business coach, that's stupid, or people say, well, that's dumb, or what are people going to think of you, or whatever.
And it's
So
like, hey, I don't care, but I love constructive criticism. I love it so much when someone comes to me and they're like, what about this? And sometimes it's valid, right? Like when I was told that, I was like, you're right. I need a better story. Or if I really felt strong about it, I'd be like, nope, this is the story that I'm sticking to. But that's really important too, like being receptive of, that type of constructive criticism, because I love it. I give a lot of constructive criticism. I say this all the time in business and in real life. I say this to everybody. Don't listen to anybody else's opinion at all. But if you're listening, I'm going to tell you what I think, but you don't have to listen to me. But don't listen to me if that's not what you feel is the right decision to be made. And, I think that that's important. Everybody's going to tell you what they think. It's like you have a baby. They're like, are you having another one? I'm like, I just had a baby. Like, what? Why do I need to have another one? It's like that, like right out the gate, like someone already has an opinion of how you should be doing things.
yeah, and it'll be about anything and everything.
Yep.
So, and you'll never please everyone.
No.
So I love
I'm not
that.
a people pleaser anymore. I gave that up a few years ago. I'm good.
Yeah. There's a few people that I'll put little more effort into pleasing than the majority, but
And over time, I feel like I'm like, what you get is what you see. If you want, if what I have to give is what you're looking for, I stand by the quality of everything that I do. I am a solid business owner. I don't do anything shoddy, but I stand very solid with all of the things that I do, and what you get is what you see. And I'm not here to please you. I'm here to, give you a service or give you a job and do it to the best of my ability. And at the end of the day, if I didn't meet that expectation, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I still stand by with what I do. And if I do something shoddy, I will totally own up to it 100%, because we all
yeah,
have it.
yeah, we're all human.
Exactly. Exactly.
But yeah, there are some people where I'll go the extra mile and make the extra effort for versus others and win. But anyway, so I want to get back to circumstances. How did you transition, and how do you help others transition? Because it's so hard to not let outside circumstances control you.
Right.
And I love helping people and talk about getting past that. And I think one of the critical things is having that real understanding of your why. Why do you want to move forward? Why do
Mm-hmm.
you want to get past this? Why do you want your circumstances to change? You know, there you can have one why that encompasses everything, and you can have several different whys. So
Mm-hmm.
having that deep understanding and that deep why, it can't be I just want money or I don't want to worry about bills. It's got to be deeper than that.
Oh, I
Why?
agree.
How does the why to you? How does the why and understanding that you can be more than your environment tie together?
So, I mean, ultimately, you know, when we wake up every morning, we want to be our best possible versions of ourselves. And we find so many times that some of us are stuck in Groundhog Day and that we can't get out of our own way. Every day we have these intentions on doing something new and different, and we don't end up doing that, right? And it's unfortunate because so many people will live their entire lives not being their true authentic self. They won't live their best lives. And 4 years ago, I had a heart attack and I didn't think I didn't know if I was going to make it. Like, not for nothing, I thought I was dying, and it was the scariest moment of my life. But I was given another chance by the universe, by God, whatever higher being there is. I was able to have another chance with my life, and I think that for me changed a lot of things. It changed my perspective. It changed my why. It changed why I do everything on a daily basis. It's so important to recognize why we're doing the things that we're doing, but you have to want to make the change. I have talked to several people that they're like, I'm not happy doing this. I need another job. I don't like my relationship. I want to start a business. Well, do it. Well, I can't. Well, why? Because I can't. Like, I don't have the money. I don't have the support. I don't have this. You don't need any of those things. Zero, zilch, nada. You don't need somebody else's, you know, outside input to start a business. You want to start a business, start saving your pennies. I've met so many people that have been in the worst situations that you can imagine, have squirreled away money, have got away from those situations. People that have been in marriages, people that have been in business, whatever that looks like. There is nothing, unless someone is physically holding like you with a chain, there's nothing from stopping you from changing your circumstance. Zero. If I want to get up and leave this call right now, I can get up and I can walk out the door. If I don't want to be in a relationship anymore, I can leave. If I want to move, I can get up and I can move. There's nothing actually physically stopping me from doing any of these things except what's in our head. And I think actually starting to understand that there's nothing that's holding me back on the course of a daily basis, it changed my perspective. When you have a life or death situation, it's like, once it's over, it's over. Why am I not going to live my best possible life? And I think that is super important. I think it's important to always recognize, if you want to make a change, you have to want to make the change. Like you said, it's deeper than the money. It's deeper than all of those other things. And that's like nail on the head. It's so deep, but if you're not willing to make the change, you're going to continue that Groundhog Day cycle. And it's important to recognize. You want help? I am here to listen. You want help and guidance? I'm here to guide you. But just know that you don't need someone else to tell you that you can or cannot do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to share another picture here. Um, just how, come on. Sorry, let me see if it'll pull up real quick. Just how true that is. The biggest weight we carry, the biggest burden oftentimes that we carry. Um,
Is our mind?
yeah, and I
That's
love
a,
that picture
that's a great picture.
because it is so true. So many times we let our mind stop us,
Oh yeah,
and there are so many examples of people that have come from less than nothing. I'm listening to
agreed.
a lot of Steve Harvey stuff. I love the content
Love
he
Steve
puts out.
Harvey. Same.
He lived in his car for 3 years, and now he's been on more TV than anyone in the world.
Right.
So there is nothing stopping you except for what's between your two ears.
It's
And
true.
and
It's
again, that
hard.
why you could start right now with a piece of paper. If you don't have money, find a piece of paper and start writing down what you want your ideal life to look like. What you
Mm-hmm.
want. You want a different job? Start writing down what job you want, what you want to do for a living. You want to,
Manifest it.
yeah, absolutely. You want to move to a different house? Start writing down where you want to live.
Right.
What house do you want to live in? What does it have? Does it have 5 acres, or is it a high rise apartment? Do you have 2 dogs? Start writing all those details down. And like you said, you don't need anything. You start putting that in your imagination. Um,
Right.
if you don't have a
But
pen and paper,
visualizing it,
yeah,
visualize it. Cut it out of a magazine, right? It's like a vision board. It's a visional list. Like even myself, and I don't know if you can see this on the phone. Maybe you can kind of see it. Do you see the pictures? Oh, there they go. This
yep,
is my vision board that I created in Canva and I update it all the time. These are the things that I want this year. And I put things about consulting, I put things about my speaking events, I put things about my family trip. I want to learn how to fly a plane. That's on my goal for this year. If and every time I look at my phone, the first thing that pops up are all of the things that I want to accomplish this year. And I was told I would never run the Boston Marathon again. 11 years ago, if you didn't follow my story, it was all over the news and it was this big thing. 11 years ago, I was diagnosed with a heart condition, had a heart attack. I was told I probably wouldn't run a race ever again because of my heart. And I get it. It's hard for me to run. I'm not a fast runner. I was told that I'd never run races. Those are all the races that I've ran in the past few years. But I'm running the Boston Marathon on Monday. If you can do anything you set your mind to, the only person that's telling you you can't do something is yourself. Think of all those people that are injured that, are going to, struggle or have a different ability that can't actually run the race, that are going to probably cross the finish line before myself. Like there are so many things that you can do in this lifetime that the only person holding you back is yourself. And that picture that you posted, I need to print out and just put like on my wall, because that representation whenever I'm having a bad day is going to be like, not today. That was excellent. So thank you for that.
awesome. I love that. And I was trying to find one with the quote that said something to what I was trying to say. The biggest burden we carry is our own mind, or something like that.
Right.
Um, you know, and I love that. And I want to ask you, with your vision board, and you see, I've got mine up there. And
Yes.
when did you update your vision board?
I do it a few times a year. I'll do it at the beginning of the year, usually just because it's like kind of that new cycle. And then I do it again in July to make sure, like almost like a check-in, right? And I check in all the time, but it's funny because I mean half the things on the list I've already achieved this year. And so like I'll update it. I'll take the things off that I've created. Actually, when I do it, I kind of put like a check mark on it because I have it printed out in front of on my desk as well. So like I'll put like a big check mark on it, but then I'll update it and I'll add some things to it because maybe there's some additional things that I want to work on for the year. Maybe, I want to just kind of change what I'm doing. Maybe I had an idea of doing something and maybe I don't want to do it anymore. And it's okay to change those things too, but to, kind of mix it up a few times a year. How about yourself?
So yeah, I do mine. I usually update it at least every couple months, 2 to 3 months. But I love that, and you don't have to wait for everybody, or many people think you have to just do it once a year. You can only do it once a year, or that's the only time you do it, kind of thing. But you can change it up and create new ones and multiple anytime you want. There's times that I've
Absolutely.
updated mine weekly for
Right.
a while, and like you said, sometimes you don't want to do it anymore, or sometimes you want to add to what you want to do, and so again, going to those limits and those cookie cutter things that we've been told for the past 500 years or whatever.
Right.
This is not the only way to do it. Yeah, do it once a year. I'm all for New Year's resolutions, but look at it, update it as often as you need. So
Yeah, I
I
agree.
love that. You know, um, I'm I'm always for. Oh, here's a perfect. Vision is an ongoing, evolving animal. Absolutely. You know,
Absolutely.
and if you don't have a physical vision board, create one on your phone like you did, or create
Right.
one in your mind. There's multiple ways to create vision boards. So I love that. Thanks for bringing that up and showing that. I've
Absolutely.
got
It's always manifesting. I mean, you can definitely have it in your mind. I always encourage, like you said, even a pen and paper. Write it in a notebook. I am such a visual person and visual representation. For me, things that I always surround myself with. Like I said, behind me is a bunch of my Spartan bands of all the races that I ran. So it's always that reminder, whatever room I walk into, whatever, thing that I want to surround myself with, I always have this positive. Gratitude app is awesome. That pops up on my phone every day. Something new pops up, and it's nice because it just allows me to constantly manifest the things that I really want. When I'm having a bad day and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, look at what I've achieved. Having a vision board and checking those things off are super important too, because it's reminding you that you did it.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you visualize, make sure it's things that you want and things that you and not what you don't want. Because
Right.
because
Or not what Kenny wants, because I don't care what Kenny wants. I care what Jen wants. So I don't want to
well, we're
have
done with
Kenny's
this
visions on my
conversation.
vision board.
But exactly, my vision board does not look like your vision board. You might give me some ideas for some different
Oh,
things
absolutely.
and stuff, and vice versa, but they're not the same, and they don't have to be. And
Right, because you never know, right? You might have something on your vision board and be like, "Ooh, I want that." It's like shiny object syndrome. You see something, it's like, "Ooh, that's really awesome." Like, when people are like, "I want a mansion." Well, why? Who's gonna clean it? Like, I don't need a big house, but because all of my friends want big houses, I'm not gonna put that on my list. Do I want a bigger house? Yes, I have 3 kids. Do I need it? No. Is it something of importance on my list? Not today. But that's important to recognize too, because it's so often, like I said a few minutes ago, we sometimes we want something because somebody else wants it. I want more money, I want a flashy car. Do you really want those things? Because I don't need those things. There are other
yeah,
things that are so much more important to me.
why do you want them? Is it just to
So you have them.
be cool with your friends?
Yep.
And if
Right.
that's your real why, then go for it. But don't
Absolutely.
try to
I'm
fit in
cool.
and stuff.
I don't need a flashy car. No.
Yeah, no, I want a truck. I like trucks.
Right. and
I'll,
and I don't, so it wouldn't be on my board.
yeah, But when you say stuff you don't want, your mind and the universe don't hear don't. So if you're like, I don't want debt, or I don't want to stay in this small house, the universe hears, I want to stay in this small house. So make sure it's things that you want that you're putting on your vision board and visualizing and
Yes.
manifesting.
Well, it's
And
all about energy, right? Like, you put positive energy into the universe, you get positive energy back. You put negative energy into the universe, you get negative energy back. So it's like positive and negative reaction. Like, that's science. And the more you manifest positivity, the more it happens. Everybody says this all the time. Jen, you are so positive all of the time. I can swear like a sailor, and I can be negative, and I can have my moments. But I am more positive than not. When something negative happens, what are 3 things that are positive? Always look for the positive in a negative situation. Like you said, you will manifest positive things. But the second you say, I don't want this, or I can't do this, you're not going to get it, and you're not going to be able to do it. It's real.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so, um, yeah, I'm living proof. There's so many things. There's too many things that I've seen and manifested for me to not believe it.
Truth. Me too.
But, let's see. And on that, you have a mastermind group and workshops going on. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Yeah, of course. So I created a mastermind for people who are in business, or want to be in business, or who think about being in business, or run somebody else's business. Anything that has to do with wanting to be in business and, kind of elevate yourself. I have a mastermind for accountability. It's ongoing. I have more than one group, which is really awesome, where I'm able to interact. We get on calls every other week for about an hour and a half. We talk about all of our wins. We talk about our losses. We talk about things to work on. We always have something to talk about every class, and it's this really great opportunity to connect with other people that are like-minded and not listening to just my opinion. So it's like, hey, I'm working on this. Well, you have other people in the group that are going to give you their ideas of how to help, mold and shape the things that you're working on. So it's a really great opportunity for anyone who wants to kind of jump in and get that positive, constructive uh, feedback. The words were just leaving my mind, but it's really really awesome, and it's something that I've been working on for a while. I created it because it also gives myself accountability, because as I'm teaching these classes, I'm also giving myself accountable actions of how to learn and grow. So it's really awesome. I also create time management workshops. I do them online, I do them in person. I am all over the place when it comes to doing them. One of the things that I had to specialize on, I have severe ADHD, if you can't tell by the way that I talk, but I had to get really good with my time management skills. And with that being said, when I first started in my first business, I knew that I wasn't going to be successful unless I really learned how to balance and manage my time. And I've created a workshop. It's time boundaries, and time management, scheduling, and boundaries. And the reason why I put all of those together is because I run 4 businesses currently, almost 5. Plus, I also sit on some nonprofit boards, and I have 3 children. I take care of my elderly grandparents. I'm married. I clearly have a lot going on at all times of the day, and I can get burnt out very quickly if I'm not really intentional with my time. So I teach other people some simple tips and tricks of how to manage their time efficiently, because it's the only way that I can get through my day. And creating boundaries, I tell everybody, and I say this whenever I bring it up, I work Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. After that, it's time for my kids and my family and my free time. The only reason why I have free time is because I put a boundary, I put a cap on it, right? I'm a workaholic. I can work 24 hours a day. That's just how I roll. But I know that, why am I doing all of this? For my family, for my kids. If I'm a workaholic, I can't be present in my personal life. So it's important to create these boundaries and this time for my family. And people will question it. They're like, well, I work till 5 too. And I was like, well, if I was a doctor's office, you'd have to go to the emergency room because I'm closed. So let's take a step back. If you want to have time to work with me, we have to do it within certain hours. And I do have employees that work a little bit later, but I won't budge, because it's so important to be really intentional with my time. That's how I'm not crazy. Or maybe I am crazy.
Crazy, some crazy kind of good, right?
Yes,
If
yeah,
we weren't crazy, then we wouldn't go on to these ventures that we do.
exactly.
And I love it. And there's another prime example of how you can be different and still be you. You have the 9 to 5 schedule. My schedule is a little different, and that's okay. It
Right,
fits us and who we are,
right,
and how we want to live our lives and stuff. And you know, I set my boundaries. They're on and off. I'm with my kids right now. I'm not available,
right.
and it works, and I love it. And I want to go back to accountability and the mindset around that really quick. A lot of times, people, when they hear budgeting and like accountability and stuff, they think it's a 4 letter word, you know, because they think budgeting is restrictive. Oh, I can't do this because it's not in my budget. Accountability. Oh no, someone's going to yell at me if I didn't hit this mark. So I don't want to join an accountability group because I don't want to have to hit this mark. When when really it's there to help you grow. They're not here to nag, 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 nag. They're okay. What's going on? How can we help you to grow? That's what the accountability partner, accountability groups are really designed for.
Absolutely. 110%. And I'm really clear with the people that I work with. If you're coming to me because you want accountability, I am here to support that, right? So Kenny needs something and he's like, I want to work on this. So I'm going to hold you to it. Well, Kenny says, I want to, add 5 clients. I'm going to ask you the next time we meet, how did you get there? Do you need help getting there? What are some steps? What are some ways that we can add more clients? What are some creative ways that we can do different things to get to where we want to be? And if you think that I'm nagging you, then maybe it's a different place for you to go, right? Or, a different group to join, or, maybe don't do it, because in the grand scheme of things, don't take this the wrong way. And this is, I'm not directing it directly towards you, but anybody that I work with, in the grand scheme of things, I do not care if you don't hit your mark, because I'm not the one that has to live with the consequence to the action, right? I'm going to be here to support you. You want to do it? Absolutely. I am your cheerleader, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. And I feel that way about everything in my life, that I am here to be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest supporter. I will give you all of the means and methods to do something. But if you don't want it, I can't make you want it. So when it comes to being accountable, it's on you. You are the person that needs to be accountable. You want to do something, you want to achieve it. I am here to be your cheerleader. But at the end of the day, if you don't do it, it's not me that didn't lose. It's you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of rough.
What's that?
I said I sound kind of rough, but it's true, right? If you don't hit your mark, it's you're the one that has to live with that, not me.
Yeah, it's that tough love. And that's what I tell my clients with budgeting. I'm like, it's not restrictive. You set the boundaries on this budget
Right.
to help you over here.
Right.
But you're so focused on this little restrictive thing of budget, or people think they can't have fun. If you want vacations and you want your soda and M&Ms to be in your budget that you go get 3 times a day, then put it in your budget. It's your budget, But like you said, if you don't stick to this budget and you don't hit your marks over here, I'm not going to be the one hurt by it. It's
True.
you, But I'm here to help you, and I'll give you some tough love and stuff. But an accountability partner is not there to nag. They're here
Agreed.
to help you grow. So I hope that helps somebody have a different perspective on accountability partner when they hear that word.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Where can people find you, reach you? What's the best way if they wanted that mastermind group or some of those workshops?
Yeah, absolutely. So the best way to get me, so you can email me at jen@epic47.com. So Jen at epic47.com. That's directly to me. You can Google search Jen Live Your Best Life. I promise you, all of my stuff will pop right up if you do Jen Live Your Best Life. Jennifer Potter. It's my handle for every social media outlet that I use. And the reason why I do it is because every day I want you to live your best life. I actually did, recently hashtag Jen Live Your Epic Life. So that's going to be up and changing soon. But I want people to remember I am here to help you live your best life because I'm living mine. And I think it's important to have the encouragement and support. But I'm on every social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. There it is, right there. See, you got me.
and don't forget, you get Jen.
Yes, that's me. That's it. All of it, even the shirt. There's even a swear on it. I'm part of a really awesome networking group, and that was actually taken right after I spoke on stage, and I was being super silly. He's like, and give me a silly face. So every time we go to take pictures, every single time I take pictures, professional or not, I always stick my tongue out while they're taking pictures in between just to see if they'll catch it. And he caught it, and I was like, that's the picture. Out of all the pictures, I have the headshot that I sent you, but that one was my favorite.
I love it. Yeah, and there's stories behind pictures. We talked about this picture for several minutes today, and
Right.
It's a great conversation starter. It's a great story piece. It's part of you.
Oh yeah.
So awesome, Jen. Thank you for taking the time to be here and just having this awesome conversation and not getting up and walking away.
I'm here for it. I was here for all of it. It was great. Thank you.
But awesome. I love it. Thanks for being here, and thanks for all you do. And everyone tuning in, please, again, you got her email, you got her Facebook profile. Connect with her. Don't be scared of the accountability partner term. It's not a scary term.
Agreed.
Reach out to her. And as always, thanks for tuning in. But remember to live your passion, fulfill your purpose, and explore those possibilities.